of the harder, for your time with the Roosters and nights beforehand and so forth, one of the harder pre-seasons you've ever done, you reckon?
Yeah, but I feel like everyone says that every year.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
they
always go, I'm fitter and stronger than I've ever been. So it's hard to actually say, but I mean, you know, they're all hard, but this one in particular, I think after last year and probably the last couple of years, Joel, like with how we've started the season, it's been a big focus for us about starting fast. So last year, just before we sort of went back, our head of performance left. So we got a new guy this year, Simon Jones, who's come over from, I think he was at the Hurricanes over in the Super Rugby, one of those sides over there, and he's like, we're calling him the white David Goggins. So he's like, come in, and he's making us work pretty hard, but it's been good. It's been enjoyable. All the boys have done majority of the sessions and are all buying in, and it's been long and it's been tough, but it's been fun. So I'm just excited to be back.
Yeah. How's your health? How do you feel? Last time we saw you were limping around. How do you feel?
Yeah, no, I feel good. I feel really good. I'm excited to play. It was such a weird long year last year. Obviously had expectations to get back and play, sort of round 22, something like that was like what the goal was. And then just having to keep the legs straight for 8 weeks in the brace where you couldn't bend it at all. My whole leg deteriorated. So I think the issue was when I started running that first time, we then tested how strong my leg was, and it was 60% weaker than my other side. So you're just setting yourself up really for injury to your other leg if you're
running in circles.
Yeah, exactly, like a duck with one leg. But yeah, it was weird and long, but the fact that we actually just put it on ice and worried about getting the strength back has meant that when I started running in January when we come back from Christmas was hit the ground running, ticked all the boxes, probably progressed faster than anyone was sort of thinking, and now sort of in a position to play in that trial game next week.
Every strength and conditioning coach has different idiosyncrasies. Some say no music in the gym, some turn the aircon off in the gym, some are hardcore, some are quiet, some are results-based. What's this preseason been like in comparison to others with maybe little changes that the Hurricanes S&C guys brought?
Yeah, I think, he just put his foot down day one and sort of said, I'm here to work his hard, but we're going to have a good time as well. So, he's added in more conditioning sessions, but more off-feet conditioning sessions.
Okay.
So we're obviously still getting our loads through running, but a few more conditioning sessions actually in the gym and doing it as a team too. Being in rehab, you do that every day.
Yeah, that's right.
You get flogged every day. So it was nice for me for a change to be able to do it with the whole squad. But yeah, I think he just brings a hard edge, but he's also a really good bloke as well. And I think, and then having some of those guys who come in last year from, the staff side of things, and, Boydo's stepped up in a big way. He's been really good for us. So yeah, it's exciting. We're just, focused on we've got a big session tomorrow and then get through that and then sort of into a game prep week for Manly next weekend, which is pretty epic because it feels like it's come around so quick.
Let me ask you this. We're chatting with Connor Watson, the Rooster. Connor, if you had to go through all the pre-seasons and you looked around the squad you had and you had to go on confidence levels as to your chances of winning a premiership, how does the feeling right now compare to years gone by? Do you feel like this is your best ever chance with the side?
Yeah, it'd definitely be close. I think probably, back in 2017 at the Roosters was another year where Kiri just come over.
Yep.
We'd sort of got PC back. I think, had Fergo's fine, Latrell was just taken off. We were in a pretty good position then. But I just think, you look at the depth of our side this year, and it's something that we probably, I've only been back for the last 2 years, but we haven't had that depth. And I think the emergence, the fact that we probably had so many injuries last year to guys Jared missed a lot of time. I obviously missed the whole year. There was different guys in and out, Lindsay in and out of Origin. It meant that, Terrell May was playing and absolutely killing it off the bench. Nafahu White as well, he's had a great preseason, and Siwa Wong, looking like he's going to be a star one day. And you sort of add those guys into the mix that we already had.
Yeah.
And then, we've been fortunate enough to get Spencer over and Dom as well. So I think, we're in a really good position, but we're also honest with ourselves and know that we've had a good side for the last 2 years, and we just haven't put ourselves in a good position because we've started the season so low. Or so slow, sorry. Yeah, we're under no illusions there and know that, there's a lot of hard work in front of us. But, yeah, I feel like we're in a really good position to go after it.
Just with the slow starts, and Robbo's coaching, he's actually won as many round one games as he won premierships. He typically starts slow, and I wonder whether that's a predetermined thing. It seems like it's going to be different this year. You want to come out guns blazing, but do you think in the past it has been almost a time you run sort of preparation with Robbo? Is it different now? I
think the big part of it, especially last year, was we had so many guys in the World Cup, and we've always had so many of our leaders. Teddy's always been away with the Australian side. Jared's always been away with the New Zealand side. A lot of these, Joey, Manu, and whether it's been, I just feel like there's been a lot of distractions for us in those pre-seasons, but it's not an excuse. Every team faces that, but I just feel like we've probably let that into our footy and not had those combinations built early enough because these guys in key spots have been away. But this year, we've been able to sort of have everyone in from, the last week, I think, in December was when we had those guys come through. So
with the Vegas trip, I was talking to some of the Manly guys the other day, and they were saying they were getting there, I think, 10 days before match day and then going home pretty much straight after. Are you guys doing the same, or are you going to have some time afterwards to let some steam off?
No, we're flying home the night after.
Yeah.
But we get over there, so we play the trial next weekend. I think that's the 18th against Manly, and then we fly out on the 21st. But we're flying into LA for a week. And then training out of UCLA, which will be pretty cool.
Oh, that's cool.
For a week, and then we head into Las Vegas
that's a good trip.
On the Wednesday or something like that.
That's a good trip.
Are all the boys going? So obviously Robbo hasn't settled on his 17 or 18.
Yeah.
Is everyone committed to the plane trip already, or not necessarily?
I think there's like a extended squad. I'd say like 25 or something like that. That are definitely going over. And then. Just depends what happens in the trial this weekend too.
What about this, Joel? So I heard some of the squads taking 22 players. So those depth players that are between, say, squad members between 17 and 30 have been pumping at training, trying to get those last couple of spots on the plane to Vegas. That's what I've been told anyway. Is that true? Wearing YouTube shirts and everything. It's almost the best part. Hey, I'm playing number 22. I'm just here for the good times. But now the work is now to get on the plane. Once they're there in Vegas, happy days. But they got to get there.
You got to get on it. On the plane.
Would there be a few flag guys or development players that are gunning for a spot on that plane to Vegas?
Yeah, I think so. I think there'd definitely be some of those young guys that are been training really well. Hopefully they get rewarded and get to go over. I remember my first preseason was when the Roosters played the World Club Challenge one year over. And we actually flew to and did a
Barcelona, was it?
No, camp in Dubai. This was back early day. Which was cool. And I was number 26 or whatever. I was the last cab off the rank that got to go. And that was amazing. That was such a cool trip to be part of. But I can imagine how being a young kid and getting to go on a trip like this, it'd just be. I mean, I'm so keen to do it.
It makes for a good preseason, doesn't it?
Oh yeah,
because it just brings the stand. When those younger players are going hard in the paint, I imagine it encourages everyone.
Yeah, and I think how I was talking about the depth before, when we're doing opposed and you sort of see the second team and who's in that, there's enough competition for spots and fire there anyway.
Connor, the biggest story in sport the last 24 hours is this man here.
The missile.
James the Missile. Hypersonic missile. It's faster than your regular missile. He's been the biggest story.
Nuclear.
Maybe the second biggest story is a Rooster. Joey Manu, who's been linked to French rugby. Now, has he spoken to the team about it? Has he walked in and said, "Je m'appelle Joey"? Where are we at with that?
Nah, he hasn't. Yeah, I'm not exactly too sure. The boys are sort of been getting into him, saying like "Savage Joey," but yeah, I don't like. He hasn't, as far as I know, he hasn't made any decision. Yeah. Obviously, he's got a big decision to make. He's so talented, so we'd love to obviously keep him, and we don't want to lose him. But he's got to make the best decision for him, and he's about to have a child, and we'll have a young family, so that's important too.
They don't muck around the Roosters. Any hint of that, and then within seconds, bang, Billy Smith extended for 3 years. Very, very clever.
Did that happen today?
Yeah, he's done for 3 years.
Good timing.
Too smart for Roosters. Too smart. Okay, what about this affiliation? You've got the affiliation, the Roosters, with Gotcha for Life. You personally are part of an initiative called Cultural Choice Association. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so my family and I started the Cultural Choice Association, which is it's a charity that's centred around Indigenous youth suicide and the prevention of it.
Your family started that?
Yeah. Thank you. It was after, unfortunately, we lost our little cousin, Parker, so he took his life back in 2017, and the rates of Indigenous youth suicide are, I think it's the leading cause of death for Indigenous kids, and it was staggering. So we started this, and we're in sort of, I don't even know, we started it in 2018, so nearly year 7 of running it, and have been running programs for sort of 5 of those years. So and I think when I come on here last year, we were talking about my injury and how some of the best presents come badly wrapped.
Good boy, yes.
And
I've got a book for you to read too.
I love it. And I think although I missed playing footy last year, and obviously it's the number one thing in my life, and I love doing it, I was able to actually put a lot of time and effort into this, and I think we're starting to see a bit more fruits of that. We've got a couple of staff members about to train some more facilitators who are actually part of the program as participants last year, and they're going to come on board and eventually be facilitators of these like mental health and cultural programs. So it's cool.
Can I ask you, NRL Roast, who are great friend of the show, and it is Valentine's Day coming up, 14th of February. And the Roosters, you've always been bloody good-looking blokes, you Roosters, Billy Smith this year, Joey Manu, yourself. Back in the day, Minicello, Craig Wing. Thank God there was no top 100 or even top 500 when I was playing. Thank God I'd haunt a house. But where do you have yourself? Where do you have yourself?
You can't ask that. That's weird. That's weird.
Well,
let's throw it out to some people in the room. Throw some numbers at us. Top 100 NRL players. Brooksy.
Who's going to beat Connor? 32. Okay, well, let me ask you this then. NRL Roast.
What?
Yeah. Hello to Upper Roasty.
Top 20?
Top 20, for sure. Okay, then.
Top 10.
Let me ask you this one.
Top 10.
18. Thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate that.
Okay.
Brooksy, you are rude. That's as rude as Joel saying $8.
No.
You two are just...
He's more chance of winning the NRL
dogs.
Hot 100 than you are breaking that record. Anyway.
Give me a market.
Who, if you weren't to be the top Rooster, who would you expect, as voted by the fans on NRL Roast, would poll the highest for the hottest 100?
I'd probably say Joey Manu would.
Yes.
Yeah.
What about Suoliti?
Yeah, Suoliti be up there. They'd be close, them two.
Who's more ripped?
Oh, Sue? Yeah. Only just though. Joey's in pretty good nick at the moment, like better than he normally looks. So.
Is he really?
As far as his rig, Joey Manu.
He's in career best nick.
Yeah, he's in good nick. He's in good nick.
The Roosters are in for a big year.
Remember the Roosters went through that phase when Sonny Bill came back, and it was all about clean eating, not carnivore, but almost maybe that. And Minnie was doing it as well.
Yeah.
It was like Mediterranean diet or something.
Yeah.
Are you guys still doing that, or is it a bit more back to performance-based eating rather than dieting? I guess you would use as that other term.
I wouldn't say like the boys are dieting, but I'd say it's definitely gone up a level as far as how conscious the boys are about what they eat and like eating, good whole foods grass-fed, like good oils, like all of that sort of stuff.
It's just so expensive when you do it on your own, isn't it?
Yeah, far out. I was thinking about that before.
You need to find someone to pay $1 million to break a world record.
Yes.
I want you to do it, by the way.
Yeah, you're going to do it.
I'm going to do it.
I love
it. Yeah. Joel doesn't think I can do it.
No, I do think you can do it. I'm just not as... And I'm very much glass half full. But I think 70% chance is a high percentage chance to break an all-time world record. But anyway,
What do you
dreams
think,
are free.
Yeah, I think I don't really know much about swimming. Obviously, I know you're a freak, but have you been still training a lot?
Not just staying in shape, not heaps of swimming. But the thing about this is I'm going for the 50 world record, so it's 20 seconds of output. So it's pure power type stuff. And again, I've been in a similar boat to you in that I don't really know what's out there to take, but I'm assuming I can get down half a second to that world record. And then I want one of those big shiny suits that they used to have back in the olden days. And then we're there.
See what he's done there. So this is the law of attraction. His personal best is 21 seconds, but he's told us it's 20 seconds of effort. So in your mind, you've already got yourself doing the record. I love the confidence.
That's how it works.
Too smart.
So, okay, tell us about the captain.
Yes.
Teddy. So there's been talk around with Madge saying, okay, look, whatever's happened in the rearview mirror is not so important as it once was. Have you seen a different James Tedesco, who I no doubt would love the challenge?
Yeah, I don't know if I've seen a different James Tedesco, but because he, as far as training and professionalism, he's always one of the best. But he's definitely been training the house down. He's sort of spoken about last year and how it wasn't sort of like his best year, but I think when you've played at such a high level, like he was still very, very good. He just hadn't played as good as he had the couple of years before. But I think that, and then also what Madge has said, it's only going to add fuel to the fire for him. So
you had people in both camps, Australia and New Zealand, after that end of year series. How did they come back from that? Obviously, guys like Joey, Manu, buoyed by it, but did that make Teddy hungrier? It was a tough year for Teddy.
Yeah, I haven't really asked him about that, to be honest. Yeah, but I think, there's definitely probably more doubters than he's had before. So I think there's definitely fuel on the fire there. But he's been training well. All of those guys that played in the Kiwis camp have been training well. We spoke about it before. Everyone's in career best form right now.
Is there a kid that Roosters have always got a bloomer, someone we've never heard of jumps out of the ground? Is there someone in the off season where you go, gee, this kid's going to play some first grade?
Yeah, there's been a couple kids, and I think they've obviously put a lot of work into the academy at the Roosters and the juniors, and I think these guys are sort of 2 to 3 years into that training where they're getting that sort of professional training from 16, 17, 18, like with Orbo's leading it. Friendy's the SG ball coach, and there's a couple kids that have sort of come out there. Siwa Wong's pretty much the first graduate of that, but there's another young guy named Celesi who's a big, powerful back rower.
Could play first grade this year.
I don't know if he will this year. There's a lot of depth, obviously, in the forwards, but I think...
A couple of back rowers floating around.
In the future, definitely. And then, I spoke about Nafahu White before, and he's obviously played a few games for us, but I think this pre-season, he's gone to another level. He's, I think, 22 years of age now, so he's looking really good. But and I know you were talking about Billy Smith re-signing. He's had a really good pre-season too, and you've always seen it at training from him, and then I think, him being actually consistently on the field for the back end of last year, you started to see it in games. So
I was across the road from your high performance centre the other day playing pickleball.
Yeah, I've seen that down there. Yeah.
Grouse. Have you tried it yet?
No, I haven't. I walked through there the other day and I noticed it. It looks pretty cool. It was a bit of a social club vibe, eh?
Yeah, check it. Have you played pickleball,
No, I
Joel?
want to though.
Yeah, it was fun. It was really fun. Not as active as tennis.
Yeah.
So you get a bit of a sweat on, but really good fun, good banter. And you can, in tennis, it gets frustrating because as soon as you hit the ball hard, it flies out.
Yes.
Pickleball, you can load up and it doesn't go a million miles.
Gotcha.
And you can play off the walls and stuff too.
Yeah. It's good fun.
Bit of squash tennis. We love that, and we love having you on, as per usual. Connor Watson. All the best for 2024, the pre-season match, as you said, versus Seagulls at Gosford. Are you definitely playing the match?
I think so. Yeah. Definitely.
But what I'm saying is you're 100% ready to go.
Yeah, in like my mind, I'm ready to go,
Yeah.
and I think the physios are now convinced. So
Good on you, mate. Good on you. I've been speaking to the great Langy too, and he says hi.
Oh yeah, he's a good man.
One of the best
Good man,
blokes you'll
helped me
ever
out
meet.
there.
Brazilian barbecue specialist.
Really?
My oath he is.
Might
Yeah,
have to take him up on that.
yeah, absolutely. We'll be giving away a double pass today too for the Roosters versus Seagulls in round 2 in Brookvale, 17th of March. Shaw and Partners, Chairman's Lounge, best contributor to the show today. Connor Watson, always a delight. Thanks for joining the run home with Joel and Fletch and the missile today.
Yeah, thanks, boys. Good luck with the record, mate.
Thanks, mate.